Pick it up, now. The voice drips with disdain. People like you need to learn some respect in my lobby. The ID card hits the marble floor, skids, stops. Thomas Reynolds. 70 years old, sharp charcoal suit. He stares down at his license. Bradley Foster, the bank manager, towers over him. A smirk plays on Foster's lips. Thomas bends. His arthritic knees pop in the silence. Foster shifts his weight. His polished wingtip slides inches from Thomas's trembling fingers. A power move. Blood rushes to Thomas's ears. Decades of dignity stripped away in seconds. Malcolm Reynolds watches from the shadows. He sees the shame on his father's face. It burns. His jaw sets. Hand tight on his phone. He makes the call silently. The lobby goes dead quiet. Only the clock on the wall dares to make a sound. Tick, tick. Malcolm's mind is made up. What would you do? Imagine it's your father being treated like trash. Right in front of you. Tell me in the comments, but keep watching, because the man in the corner is about to flip the script. Let's rewind. 10:30 a.m. Thomas Reynolds walks into Westlake National Bank. Punctual. Not a wrinkle on his suit. Silver tie clip gleaming. Italian leather shoes shining under the fluorescent lights. This isn't vanity. It's armor. Forged over decades of walking into rooms where he wasn't welcome. He heads for the information desk. Shoulders back, head high. I need to add my son to my accounts. Across the room, Malcolm Reynolds leans against a pillar, checking emails on a $5 billion merger. His company, Horizon Innovations, Westlake's biggest pending client. He looks up. Just checking. Letting his dad handle business. Like a man. Bradley Foster spots the older black man at the desk. Scan, assess, judge. Old suit. Probably a pension check. Minimal assets. Not worth the time. He snaps his fingers at a junior associate. Annette, handle the gentleman. Thomas speaks up. Firm. I asked for the manager. My accounts are complex. I need authorization. Foster's brow twitches. Ow. Complex. He walks over, dragging his feet, that fake corporate smile plastered on. He pulls up the file on his tablet. The numbers are solid, but not enough to impress a guy like Foster. What exactly do you need? He raises his voice, like he's talking to a child. Adding my son as a signatory. Foster nods slowly, starts explaining banking 101, stuff Thomas has known for 50 years. We need to verify who you are first. Banking regulations, you understand? He stretches the word out. Regulations, like it's a foreign concept. Malcolm taps out a reply. Urgent. The email confirms the $5 billion transfer is set for tomorrow, through this branch. Foster holds out his hand. Thomas hands over his license. Foster takes it by the very edge, 2 fingers. He stares at it, flips it, squints at the hologram, acting like it's a bad fake. This looks... He lets it hang there. The accusation floats in the air. Thomas doesn't flinch, hands clasped on the counter. Statue still. He's been here before. Too many times. The air in the bank turns icy. Foster opens his hand. Deliberately. Asterisk clack asterisk. The card hits the floor. Every conversation in the room dies. Eyes dart over. Thomas locks eyes with Foster. Foster just smiles. A tiny, cruel curl of the lip. I need valid ID, sir. His voice booms, making sure everyone hears. Thomas points a shaking finger at the floor. You just dropped it. Foster shrugs. If you have trouble bending over. Malcolm watches. His blood boils. Every instinct screams asterisk attack, asterisk. But he waits. He knows his father. Thomas knows how to navigate the sharks. Thomas bends slowly, wincing. Pain shoots through his knee. Foster moves his foot. Just an inch, closer to the reaching hand. It's a threat. Silent, physical, Thomas sees it, ignores it. He grabs the card, straightens up. Dignity intact. Places it gently on the marble counter. Dauergarma. The ID is valid. Foster picks it up again, like it's covered in filth. Address doesn't match our system. I've lived at 1842 Maple Avenue for 30 years, Thomas says. Voice steady. The young teller next to them shifts. Uncomfortable. She looks down. Can't watch. Malcolm pushes off the wall. He starts walking. His suit costs more than Foster makes in a year. Foster sees him coming. Sees the cut of the fabric. The walk. I'll be with you in a minute, sir. Dismissive, assuming the rich guy has nothing to do with the old man. I'm with him, Malcolm says. Ice cold. Foster blinks. Does a double take. Your father. The shock is real and insulting. Yes. Foster looks from the old man to the young tycoon. You don't look like you come from the same... He stops, but the slur hangs there. Thomas doesn't move. He's practiced this silence his whole life. Malcolm's jaw tightens. Just a fraction. From the same what? Foster doesn't answer. He looks down at his tablet, suddenly busy. Malcolm slides a hand into his pocket, touches his phone. He decides right then, he's going to burn this place down. Figuratively, Foster keeps pushing. I need more verification, security protocol. He taps the screen. For these types of accounts, policy. These types? Malcolm asks. Foster ignores him. Second form of ID now. Thomas pulls out his passport. Foster opens it, examines every page like he's looking for invisible ink. A woman steps up to the line. Foster waves her away without looking up. Not enough. I need a major credit card and social security validation. Thomas takes out his social security card, his platinum Amex. Foster holds them up to the light, the theater of humiliation. The line of customers watches, shifts on their feet. The air is thick with embarrassment. But Foster, he's just getting started. Signature doesn't match. Foster lies. Thomas's script is elegant, consistent, always has been. I need a fresh sample, now. He slides the paper across the marble. Thomas picks up the pen. Dignity in every movement, the ink flows, steady, deliberate. Foster squints at the card on his screen, feigns confusion. Yeah, I'm not seeing the resemblance here. It is identical, Thomas says softly. Perhaps we try again. Foster crushes the form, tosses it at the trash, misses. It lands on the tile. You dropped that, he sneers. The bank goes quiet, eyes turn. Thomas stands like a statue. Malcolm steps in. Thomas raises a hand, just an inch. A silent order. Asterisk, stand down. Stop, I've got this. Thomas's voice is flat, level. I have banked here for 35 years. Get your supervisor. Foster's smile turns brittle. I am the senior manager. There is nobody else. He flicks another paper across the desk. Try to focus this time. Thomas breathes in, deep, calculating the cost, keeping the mask of calm tight. Malcolm stares at his father. He doesn't see a victim. He sees a fortress refusing to crumble. The guard shifts, hand on his belt. He steps toward Malcolm, ignoring the clerk. We got a problem here. Ask him. Malcolm points his chin at the desk. Foster adjusts his tie. Just following security protocol. Some folks struggle with the rules. The guard eyes Thomas. Then Malcolm's custom suit. The math happens fast. The posture, the money. Sir, if you're causing a scene. No scene, Thomas cuts in. Just paperwork. He signs again. Perfect strokes. Malcolm's pocket vibrates. He checks the screen. Text from Claire Davidson, Next Gen CEO. Asterisk merger ready. $5 billion wire via Westlake National set for tomorrow. Malcolm's grip tightens on the phone. 5 billion reasons to walk away. One reason to stay. Thomas pushes the paper back. Foster inspects it, looking for a flaw, finding none. A stiff, reluctant nod. Guess this works. Foster types. One key, pause, another key, dragging seconds into minutes. He leans in a voice loud and slow, like he's teaching a toddler. A signatory, Mr. Reynolds, means your son can touch your money. You get that. Thomas nods once, chin up. I understand perfectly. Malcolm turns away, answers the buzz. Malcolm Reynolds. Malcolm, it's Claire. We good for the morning? Everything on track. She sounds hyped. Yes, we are set, Malcolm says. Voice loud, deliberately projecting. The $5 billion transfer through Westlake is approved. He watches the desk. Foster is too busy sneering to hear. Excellent. We need absolute precision on this, Claire says. You comfortable with the bank? Malcolm watches Foster point at a blank line. Asterisk initial here. Unnecessary. I'm having second thoughts. Give me 10 minutes. He walks back. Foster hits enter. Finally. All set, Mr. Reynolds? The smile is plastic. Try not to drop your ID next time. The card slides across. No eye contact. Thomas takes it, hands steady. Thank you for the help. Ice cold. They turn. The guard tracks them, hand resting on his gun. Unnecessary. You didn't have to take that, Malcolm says. The heavy glass doors slide shut behind them. I have survived worse. Thomas fixes his collar. Pick your battles, son. Malcolm pauses. Through the window he sees Foster, smiling now, warm, welcoming a white couple. Maybe this one is worth it. Thomas looks at him, sees the determined boy from the playground, now backed by an empire. What are you thinking? Some people need to learn, Malcolm mutters. I need the phone. They climb into the town car. Thomas sits in silence. He sees the fire in Malcolm's eyes. His own fire, passed down, but fueled by money Thomas never had. Let it go, Thomas says. My pride can take it. Malcolm locks eyes. It's not about pride, it's the pattern. He dials. And the people who can't break it. Thomas watches. The boy who promised asterisk, never again asterisk. The man who can finally keep that promise. Foster thinks he broke an old man. He doesn't know that old man poured the concrete for the building he sits in. Malcolm speaks, voice like steel. Claire, we need to talk about the bank. What? Why? Panic in her voice. Westlake has done our books for years. They are ready. I just watched their senior manager humiliate my father, Malcolm states. Cold facts, no emotion. I am not moving $5 billion through a place with that culture. Silence on the line. Malcolm, that is disturbing. But switching now, that is weeks of delay. The board expects news Monday. Then tell them to wait, Malcolm says. I will kill the deal before I sign that check. Thomas looks out the window. Silent. Waiting. Claire demands the phone. Mr. Reynolds, I am so incredibly sorry for what you went through, she says the moment Malcolm hands it over. So, was it truly as horrific as Malcolm says? Thomas keeps his voice steady, cold. Every word is true, but I'm not asking for special treatment. Malcolm hangs up the phone, cutting the conversation short. This isn't just about you, Dad. It's about every single person who looks like us walking through those doors. Malcolm dials his CFO. Alex, I need new banking partners. Drop Westlake, immediately. What? Alex panics on the other end. Dropping them now means renegotiating everything. New due diligence. The board is going to flip. Foster is just one guy. This feels personal, not strategic. Malcolm's voice drops an octave. One manager represents the culture they allow. Get me options? Tonight. Thomas watches his son memories flooding back. Decades of swallowing his pride just to keep his business alive. The loans denied without cause. The funding that vanished the moment he showed his face in the lobby. What's the play? Thomas asks when the line goes dead. Education, Malcolm answers, dialing his legal counsel. Inside the bank, Foster is oblivious. He straightens his tie, laughing with a teller about difficult people, unaware the ground is shifting beneath him. His desk phone trills. It's the regional director. She never calls branch managers. The caller ID reads *Elaine Torres*. a name he usually only sees on memos. He clears his throat. Bradley Foster speaking. Foster, we have a formal complaint regarding an incident today, Torres says. No greeting, no warmth, regarding Thomas Reynolds. I need details, now. Foster's smirk vanishes. Oh, that nothing serious. Just an elderly gentleman confused by our security protocols. I handled it. The complaint says otherwise. Full report, on my desk, by morning. The chairman is asking questions. The line clicks dead. Foster stares at the receiver, annoyed. He types a quick email, spins the narrative. Asterisk professional response to agitated, confused senior citizen. He hits send, convinced the problem is solved. Meanwhile, Malcolm commands the room at Horizon. Westlake National is dead to us, he tells his executives. His CFO slides 3 binders across the glass table. Spreadsheets, projections, fallout. Any of these will delay the merger by 2 weeks minimum. Next Gen is twitchy. Claire Davidson called twice to see if you've lost your mind. Let them twitch, Malcolm says, flipping a page. Principals aren't free. Across the city, Claire Davidson paces. Her phone is blowing up. Shareholders panic over rumors. She calls an emergency board meeting. 8 a.m., sharp. Malcolm Reynolds is threatening to walk away because of a bank teller, she tells her chairman. What kind of incident is worth risking $5 billion? He demands an answer. The kind that reveals who you really are, Claire murmurs. I'm digging into it. Late that night, Thomas calls Malcolm. He sounds tired, like a man who has fought this battle too many times. Son, I appreciate the fight, but this merger is your legacy. Don't burn it down over an old man's pride. Malcolm stares out at the skyline. It's not pride. It's about the system that lets men like Foster exist. Change requires leverage. You're gambling everything, Thomas warns. I'm betting on what you taught me, Malcolm replies. Integrity isn't a mood, it's the foundation. The regional director's reply sits unread in Foster's inbox. Asterisk meeting tomorrow, 8 a.m. Asterisk board members attending. Bring Reynolds' file. The sun rises over the city. Cold, bright. Foster struts into regional HQ. He nods at security, acting like he owns the place. He ignored the email. He has his excuses ready. The receptionist doesn't smile. Mr. Foster, main boardroom, they're waiting. Foster's step falters. Foster swallows the lump in his throat. He opens the heavy oak doors. 6 executives. Dead silence. No coffee on the table. Elaine Torres doesn't blink. We are discussing your conduct regarding Thomas Reynolds. Foster waves a hand. Like I said, elderly customer, confused, I followed protocol. The chairman slides a thick black folder across the polished wood. Thomas Reynolds, customer profile. Read it. Foster opens the file. The blood drains from his face. Asterisk founding investor. Asterisk personal holdings over 8 figures. Owner of Reynolds Construction, builder of this very headquarters. I didn't know, Foster stammers. Clearly, Torres cuts him off like a knife. But that is irrelevant. Across town, Malcolm walks into the Lion's Den at Next Gen. Claire introduces him. The board watches him like hawks. Malcolm, tell us why you're torching our merger over a banking dispute, Claire says. It's not a request. Malcolm lays it out, calm, clinical. He leaves out his father's status. I do not do business with entities that sanction discrimination, period. The Next Gen chairman scowls. Regrettable, sure, but is it worth blowing up a $5 billion deal? Values aren't situational, Malcolm says. What happened to my father happens every day to people who don't have this microphone. If I don't use this power to stop it, I don't deserve to have it. Claire stares at him. She sees the steel in his spine. She gives a single slow nod. We built this merger on shared values, Malcolm says, voice hard. If those values stop at the bank vault, they're worthless. Foster stammers through his excuses. The door opens. The security director walks in silence following him and drops a USB drive on the table. Clack. He jams the drive into a laptop. The screen flickers. Yesterday's footage, every angle, high-definition guilt. Foster watches himself drop Thomas's ID. He sees himself kick it toward the old man's hand. He sees the dismissal, every sneer, every look of disgust, captured in perfect, damning audio. Standard security tape, Torres says. Cold, clinical. Your story doesn't match the video. Foster shifts in his seat. You're seeing it wrong, Foster pleads. It slipped. I was just following protocol. The chairman ignores him, opens a new file. We pulled your verification records. Last 12 months. He slides the spreadsheet across the mahogany. Take a look at the pattern. Foster goes pale. The data doesn't lie. It screams bias, race, age. The numbers are right there in red and green. White customers, 4.2 minutes. Black customers, 12.8. Elderly minorities, 18.3. Indefensible. The chairman leans in. Thomas Reynolds isn't just a VIP. Meanwhile, the air in the next-gen boardroom gets thin, hard to breathe. A board member stares Malcolm down. This looks personal, not business. It's both, Malcolm shoots back. My father taught me to spot character. I just found some. Claire interrupts. Can't we handle this quietly? Talk to leadership? Too late, Malcolm says. He checks his watch. You don't know who my father really is. Back at Westlake, the chairman drops the hammer. Federal Banking Ethics Committee. He documents discrimination. For Congress. 3 years, Torres says. He's been gathering evidence everywhere. Yesterday wasn't an errand. It was a test, a national audit. Foster freezes. The floor drops out. I didn't know who he was. That, the chairman snaps, is exactly the point. Respect shouldn't require a title. The director plays another clip. Malcolm on the phone. The $5 billion merger. Westlake National named explicitly. Do you get it? Torres asks. You just cost us billions. You torpedoed our reputation with 2 giants. Foster tugs at his collar. Choking. If I knew? If you knew, you would have acted like a decent human being. The chairman cuts him off. That's the problem. At Next Gen, Malcolm lays it out. My father is oversight. He's been tracking these patterns for years. That incident, it's Exhibit A in his testimony next month. The board members look at each other. Panic sets in. This puts us in a tight spot, the chairman mutters. No, Claire says. It puts us on the right side. Do you want to be on the wrong one? Malcolm stands up. I'm not twisting your arm. I'm making a choice. You're free to make yours. The chairman clears his throat. Nervous. Maybe we should stand with you, Mr. Reynolds. Ethics, optics. It makes sense. Westlake. Foster is begging now. I'll call them. Personally. I'll explain. It was a misunderstanding. It's way past that, Torres says. Board meets this afternoon. Go home. You're suspended. Foster walks out. Career dead. At his home office, Thomas Reynolds watches the tapes. 20 banks. Same story. Video after video. Subtle slights. Delays. Disrespect. All based on how they look. His assistant walks in. Committee chairman called. They want your testimony sooner. Thomas nods, eyes on the screen. Tell them I'm ready. He looks at a photo on his desk. Him, young, hopeful, standing in front of the construction site that became Westlake National. The irony is sharp. Is Malcolm coming for lunch? The assistant asks. No, Thomas says. He's teaching a lesson. Decisions lock into place. Thomas preps the testimony. The industry is about to shake. Westlake National's board votes. Foster is out. Unanimous. The chairman calls Malcolm. Voice trembling. Mr. Reynolds, on behalf of the bank, we are sorry, truly. Foster violated our standards. Claims are easy, Malcolm says. Reality is different. He's fired, the chairman says. Effective immediately, but we know that's just a start. We're overhauling training, accountability systems, everything. Malcolm listens. Silence on the line. Thanks for the call. My team will be in touch. Click. Next Gen votes. 2 hours behind closed doors? They back Malcolm. Claire and Malcolm draft the statement. Merger delayed. 2 weeks. Reassessing partnerships based on shared values. No names mentioned, but Wall Street isn't stupid. The Journal headline screams Next Gen Horizon $5 billion merger delayed. Partners under scrutiny. Bloomberg follows. Discrimination claims halt mega deal. CNBC debates ethics versus profit. The camera pulls back. The world is watching. The phone didn't stop ringing. Every member of the ethics committee wanted a piece of this. Perfect timing. Senator Harris didn't mince words. You just handed us the smoking gun. Washington smells blood. Staffers are demanding the files now. They want to win before the midterms. Thomas gave them the raw numbers, but kept the rest close to the chest. Watch me say it, he told them. Reading isn't enough. Meanwhile, Malcolm laid down the law for Westlake. Mandatory bias training, every employee, independent audits, no hiding. Check the service quality, every race, every background. Put money into the neighborhoods you ignored. The shareholders were screaming about the reputation hit. The board folded immediately. The chairman called Malcolm, voice low. We knew we needed this years ago. Then why wait? Malcolm asked. Silence. No profit in it, right? Malcolm didn't let him answer. Well, there is now. Foster panicked. He hired Stephanie Webb to spin the narrative. They planned to claim wrongful termination, paint him as the victim. Webb dug into Thomas, saw the history. He does this for a living, she realized. It's a trap. They baited you, she told Foster. Reynolds isn't a customer. He's a federal agent without a badge. It's a sting operation. Westlake's lawyers laughed it off. They opened the files. 18 months of complaints, same story, different faces. He's not a victim, they wrote. This wasn't a one-off. It's a habit. Then the invite came. Thomas wanted to see Foster. Private. Foster walked in ready for a fight. Maybe get a confession on tape. He found Thomas sitting there, calm, reading. Do? Take a seat, Thomas said. He didn't look up. Foster stayed standing. My lawyer says I shouldn't be here. Thomas shrugged. I'm not recording. Put the law aside. Look. He spun the screen around. A lifetime of data. 1980, 1995. Yesterday. Thomas pointed. I've watched this my whole life. This isn't about punishing you, Foster. It's about breaking the machine. Foster stared. He wanted to argue. Then he saw it. The reflection. His actions repeated 1,000 times by 1,000 others. The excuse stuck in his throat. I never thought I was prejudiced, he whispered. Nobody thinks they are, Thomas said cold. The numbers don't lie. Outside, the industry was shaking. CEOs were blowing up Malcolm's phone. How do we fix this? Malcolm sent them his own people. Open your books. Own it now, he warned, or get destroyed later. Claire Davidson dropped the hammer. You want to work with Next Gen, you get audited. New rules, she told the shareholders. Adapt or die. Wall Street loved it. The stock jumped. Analysts realized risk management isn't just numbers anymore, it's culture. Even Goldman Sachs agreed. Being ethical pays off. Thomas took the stand. No drama, just cold hard facts. The suits in the back row were sweating, writing everything down. Thomas didn't even say Foster's name. This isn't one bad apple, he told Congress. The system is broken. It lets this happen. They asked for a fix. Thomas gave them Malcolm's list. Don't just train them, he said. Test them constantly. The regulators woke up. Drafts were written. The comptroller made it official. Mystery shoppers, everywhere. Foster watched it on TV. His career was burning and Thomas didn't even care enough to blame him. He's calm, Foster said. That's why he wins, Webb replied. You can fight anger, you can't fight math. The deal went through. 3 banks, new rules, $5 billion. 3 weeks late, but tighter than ever. We lost time, Claire admitted, but we built a fortress. This standard lasts forever, Malcolm agreed. Change hurts, get over it. Foster walked out. In the lobby, another man sat waiting, another manager, looking terrified. Thomas's door opened. The letter was waiting for Foster at home. Federal Banking Commission. Subpoena. Stephanie Webb read the charge sheet. Her face went pale. "They're going to crucify you," she says, snapping her briefcase shut. "Take the deal. Go quietly." Foster stares at the wall. "I did my job. I followed the manual. I'm not signing a confession." Webb pulls off her glasses, rubbing her temples. "This isn't about your truth. It's about what the cameras see." The doors open. The room is packed. Suits microphones judgment. Foster walks in. He's wearing his last good suit. His bank account is already bleeding dry. He sits, alone. In the front row, Thomas and Malcolm Reynolds watch him, stone-faced. The screen flickers to life. The footage plays. Foster watches himself. He looks small, mean, a stranger. His stomach drops. "Mr. Foster." Commissioner Abrams doesn't look up from his papers. "Black clients waited 3 times longer than white ones. Explain that." Foster tugs at his collar. "It's complex. Risk assessment isn't a straight line. I followed protocol. Did you know Mr. Reynolds had been banking with us for 35 years, perfect record? I didn't have access to that screen." Abrams leans over the bench. "If he looked like you would, you have called security." The silence stretches, heavy, suffocating. "I treat everyone fair," Foster lies. The crowd murmurs. Abrams lets the discomfort hang in the air. Then Thomas takes the stand. He's calm, clinical. He doesn't point fingers. He doesn't scream. He just lays out the facts. "This isn't about one bad apple," Thomas says, pointing to the charts. "The whole orchard is rotten. Bias is invisible when you're the one benefiting from it." Malcolm watches his father. The old man isn't just a victim anymore. He's a weapon. The bankers in the back shift in their seats. Foster's team testifies next. They turn on him. "We saw it," they claim. "We were just too scared to speak up." Cowards. The chairman of Westlake takes the mic. He smiles, talks about new initiatives. He's burying Foster to save the stock price. "We have purged the problem," the chairman says. "Smooth, practiced. Mr. Foster's behavior was an anomaly. Foster feels the bus wheels crush him. The men who promoted him won't even meet his eyes." The gavel bangs. The verdict is in. Banned from banking for 5 years. Mandatory re-education. The fine wipes out his savings. He stumbles out to the steps. The press pack swarms. "Do you admit you're a racist?" a reporter shouts. Foster opens his mouth to fight. Then he sees Thomas. They lock eyes. The fight drains out of Foster. "I messed up," he whispers. "I'm trying to understand." Thomas gives a single sharp nod, steps into his car, drives away. That night, Foster packs his life into a cardboard box. The phone rings. "Dad, I saw the news. I'm handling it, Emma. I was blind." "What are you going to do?" He looks at the transcript. "Learn. Actually learn." Thomas's phone buzzes. The White House is on the line. "The president wants a word." 6 months later, Horizon boardroom. Sunlight hits the mahogany. Lawyers everywhere. The merger is happening. But the terms have changed. $5 billion on the line, and a clause that forces every bank to play fair. Strict audits, no hiding. 5 years ago they would have laughed us out of the room, Claire says, uncapping her pen. Now it's the price of admission. Malcolm watches the ink dry. Slow change, then sudden impact. Thomas is back in DC testifying. The cameras love him. He speaks with the weight of a prophet. "You don't feel the boot on your neck if you're the one wearing it," Thomas says. Next slide. Shine a light and the shadows disappear. The room is quiet, listening. Even the skeptics can't argue with the math. The data is undeniable. The committee moves fast. New laws, transparency, public report cards for every branch. Foster can't get a job. He goes back to school, sociology. He studies the machine that broke him. He starts speaking at conferences. The cautionary tale. He doesn't sugarcoat it. "I didn't think I was the villain," he tells a silent room in Chicago. That's how the system works. We build the walls, then pretend we don't see them. Students analyze his failure in class. Westlake rolls out new training. They need a new face for the board. The chairman invites Thomas to lunch. Fancy steakhouse, big offer. We need your voice. He smiles, sliding a contract across the table. Name your price. Thomas says no, respectfully. I work better from the outside, he tells them. Don't hire me. Hire the people you usually ignore. The overlooked, the underrepresented. Malcolm makes a move. He launches a foundation, Focus Financial Smarts for the Forgotten. He funds it with a cut of the profits, a solid chunk. Claire Davidson gets on board. She brings the heavy hitters with her. Opening the door isn't enough, Malcolm tells the crowd at the launch. You have to treat people right once they walk in. The regulators wake up. They take Thomas's test nationwide. Now there's a scorecard. Service quality gets measured, no hiding. Big banks take a hit. Massive fines for the bias. The industry scrambles. Compliance teams double in size overnight. They analyze the numbers now. It's standard. You want that executive bonus, fix the equity gap first. The magazines that laughed, they changed their tune. Now they run cover stories on the banks that fixed their act. They call it the Reynolds Standard. It used to be a headache. Now it's a badge of honor. Customers check the score before they sign up. Thomas packs up. Time to leave the ethics committee. But the inbox isn't empty. Resumes pile up. Dozens of them, young pros, hungry. Foster's daughter is in the stack. 12 months later. Dinner at Aveline, top of the city. The maitre d' treats them like anyone else. Malcolm catches it. He grins. Times change, Malcolm says. He unfolds his napkin. Thomas nods. Slowly. They talk about the waves they made. The merger is booming. Ethical rules didn't kill it. They made it stronger. Now the competition is copying the homework. Thomas pulls out the letters. Real people, real stories, thanking him for the fight. Read this. Atlanta, Thomas says. He slides the tablet over. Small business owner. She says she felt seen. Not like a risk, just a client. Malcolm nods. One victory at a time. I swallowed my pride for 40 years, Thomas says. His reflection ghosts in the glass. I tolerated too much. Should have started this fight sooner. You were building the case, Malcolm pushes back. Patience made it stick. The server steps up. Young guy, smooth. Gentlemen, put your wallets away. Dinner is covered, anonymous. Malcolm raises an eyebrow. Generous? Who do we thank? The server signals. Subtle, the corner table. Foster sits there, with Emma. He gives a nod, brief. Then he stands up and walks out. Thomas watches him go. Accountability without a path back is just cruelty, he tells Malcolm. You need both. Emma walks over. Her dad waits by the door. Mr. Reynolds, she says. Thank you. My thesis. You inspired it. She drops a card on the table. I join the committee next month. Thomas takes it. A real smile breaks through. The torch passes. She walks away. They finish the meal. Silence, comfortable. Thomas speaks up. He looks back. From the contractor fighting for a loan to the man who changed the system. The best answer to disrespect isn't screaming, he says. It's strategy. Malcolm listens. You didn't teach me to fight. I taught you to build, Thomas corrects. Fighting just breaks things. Building makes it real. They step out. Cool air. Across the street, a new branch glows. On the wall, Thomas's words shine in the light. Equal respect shouldn't depend on who you are. Malcolm reads it, looks at his dad. They chose your words. That's how you know you won. They walk to the car. 2 generations, 1 mission. They turned an insult into a revolution. No revenge, just persistence. Was it worth it? Malcolm asks. The risk, the heat. Thomas looks at the skyline. Ask me in 30 years, when nobody remembers it was ever different. Dignity doesn't need payback. It needs a system where disrespect can't breathe. If this story about justice and strategy hit home, hit that like button. Help us get these stories to the people who need them. This is just one truth among many. We share stories of courage here at PAP Stories. Subscribe, hit the bell. Don't miss the next one. Real change takes guts. Stand your ground, join the movement. Subscribe to PAP Stories today.